Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and today is Sunday, May the 7th. The weather in East Tennessee has been crazy again. We were 80 this afternoon. It's chilly outside now and raining, but whatever. It is springtime in East Tennessee. I hope everybody had a fantastic week. I'm going to see if I can hop on here with you all. Yep. Okay, so maybe I can see a few more people when they're chatting if I'm on here with you all. But hello and happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you all had a great week. Hello, Anna. It's good to see you. I see Lynn sneaking in here, and Annette is here. But I hope you all had a great week and that life is treating you well. It is May. In case you missed that, we have officially entered May. Today is May the 7th, and it is still 2023. Don't know why I felt the need to say that, but in case somebody's watching this later on YouTube and they're curious as to what the year is, we are still in 2023. Hello, Annette. It's good to see you. It is May. Weather's crazy. Hello, Carol Lou. I don't know how your all's weather's doing, but I've heard strange reports of crazy things. Hello, Corrine. Let's see who else is here. Oh, I'm just getting notified that I'm on again. Yeah, I already know because I'm here. But anyway, hello and happy Sunday, everybody. And we've got lots of things to talk about. We always do. I don't know why I say that. Hello, Mary Ann from Pennsylvania. Hello, Elaine. Let's make sure I'm not missing anybody. Hello, Sandra from Dingman's Ferry. You popped up down here. Nope, there you are. If you're watching this later on YouTube, it's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. You can go back and watch 316 other chats that way. This is chat number 317, and it is titled The No Blame Game. So we're not blaming anybody today, especially not ourselves, but you can go back and watch the other 316. If you're bored, need something to sleep to, you're more than welcome to go do that. Again, that's youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. In case you are new, please let us know, because we would love to welcome you. We love to welcome new people. And in case you're new and you didn't know, all of the notes from all of these chats are printed on, or they're available for you to print, for you to download, share, print, whatever you want to do, read, over on www.ifyouhaveanegg.com. And there is Mary from Pittsburgh sneaking in. Hello, Mary. Hello, Sandra. Oh, Sandra's in the UP today. Are you with your sister? If you are, tell her we said hello. And hello, Joycelyn. It's good to see you. Yeah, so we are so happy. I'm so happy that everybody is here. So it's not we tonight, because while I'm still stuck here in the loft, John has been taking Dusty off because he's really not enjoying being stuck here in the loft. But hello, Kim. He loves being here in the loft, but he does not like it when I come stand in my spot. And for anyone who has been here, you know this spot, I am literally occupying about 3 feet of space right now, and he just doesn't like it when we're here. Let's see. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Orlando Debbie. It's good to see you. So again, today is Sunday, May the 7th. We snuck into May. And today is chat number 317. I do have just a smidge of news to start out with tonight. I've had lots of questions for some reason. Hello, Katie. I've had lots of questions for some reason about how to get kids to eat and about how to get kids that are picky eaters to eat. I don't know why suddenly I am the star to the picky kid group, but maybe it's because I talk about Alyssa and Bo so much. I will say Alyssa is an extremely picky eater, and so it's very challenging, and Casey and I continue to come up with different things to try and get her to eat. Bo, on the other hand, her little sister, wildly adventurous in what she will eat. And it's funny, the things that she will eat and she won't eat. Like, she'll eat an egg roll, but if you try to feed her a strawberry, she will take a bite out of it and then hand it right back to you. I don't know. And I've been chatting with one of the girls in our in-person group about toddlers being jealousy eaters, like seeing everybody else eat and, trying to do that. So I don't know. I may try to have a chat about picky eaters, about picky kid eaters, and trying to teach them how to eat healthy. Might be a good topic for another one. And hello, Evie. But Casey did want me to let you all know that for anybody that has picky eaters, we are going to be trying something that she bought at Walmart this week. I think she said they were on sale for $1.50, which seemed like a great price. I will warn you before I show you these. These are 6 points each. So if you buy these, and if your picky eaters don't like them, you've got a decision to make. You can either throw away $1.50, or these are 6 points each. So Alyssa will be trying these over the next few days. She's a very picky eater, so we will see what she thinks. But these are made by Chobani, and they are Chobani Greek yogurt drinks. So it's a liquid in here. Alyssa really does not want to eat anything in the morning, and then she heads off to preschool every day, and they're busy, and she runs a lot. Like, that kid never sits still. So again, Casey and I are trying to find something that she will eat, but these are the Chobani Greek yogurt drinks. And hello, Pat, it's good to see you. This one is, they've got blueberry, no, let's see, this one is mixed berry, mango, peach, strawberry banana, and pina colada. So if she doesn't like this one, I think Nona's gonna, suck it up and enjoy the 6 points to be able to, consume that one. But again, Chobani, and I know that's backwards and upside down the way you're holding it, Kelly, but Chobani, will be letting you know they are 140 to 150 calories each. Hello, Roberta. Good to see you. 140 to 150 calories each. They do have, I think it's 10 grams of protein, really not any fiber to speak of, but they look delicious. Yes, Orlando Debbie, I agree, they look delicious. 6 points, 6 points is not a disaster, considering this is yogurt. This is a yogurt drink instead of something that's really, not good for you. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping that these work well, but Alyssa and I will keep you all posted throughout the week. Kathy, did I say aloha? I cannot remember. Aloha, Kathy, and hello, Marlene. So we'll keep you posted as to how that goes. Okay, so first things first, I need to know, oh no, hold on a minute. Marlene wrenched her back this week. Oh no, but she's on the mend. How did you do that? How did you do that? Oh my goodness. Oh, and Debbie says the Dannon version of these is only 1 point. Okay, well, for little kids, I'm going to have her try these because little kids need all this extra fat, but I will keep that in mind, Debbie, that the Dannon ones are only 1 point. That sounds really good. And I hope that Marlene is on the mend, really on the mend. And, oh, Marlene was putting creamer in the refrigerator and hurt her back. What on earth? I know, you get to be our age and it's just the little things. Okay, so this is chat number 317. Today is May the 7th. I am Kelly. This is IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. First thing I need to know, even new people who attended an in-person workshop last week. Hello, Liz. If you attended an in-person workshop last week, let's see some thumbs ups. Or if you did a Zoom workshop last week, let's see some thumbs ups. And sadly, I had to work Thursday. I know I'm my own boss, but we are so busy right now. I had to work Thursday, and I just completely missed Gwen's workshop. So I'm sorry if any of you all were there. But keep in mind, and you're right, Debbie, it is always the silliest thing, but keep in mind, if you need an actual in-person WW workshop, my fearless leader Gwen has hers on Thursday nights, and you can go to Connect and look for the West Knoxville group, and you will find hers. And it feels more like a real meeting if you're used to those, because you can see each other. And I think that's a fantastic way to meet some new friends too, because we are from literally everywhere. Okay, so thumbs ups. Good. Oh, looks like Lynn was there. So thumbs ups. And Lynn, I set an alarm for next week. So next week I set an alarm to go. I've set it off to go. Thank you, Corrine. That's very sweet. Next week, Thursday, my alarm will be going off at 5, 5:30, and 6 to remind me to go to Gwen's Zoom workshop. So hopefully I will be there. But yeah, thumbs ups if you went to an in-person workshop, or if you attended a Zoom workshop. Hearts if you were here with us last week, or if you watched later on demand. And I've had several of you tell me that you have actually turned this into a podcast. And it's not a podcast, but you've turned it into one because you've been plugging in headphones and listening to the chats while you're working out. So I think that's a great way to pass some time. I know just listening to me babble about Weight Watchers things would make the time go, super fast. So I think that's a great idea. So bravo to everyone who went to an in-person workshop last week or who attended with us here live. So good job, everybody. Mucho bravos. Excellent, everybody. Okay, so last week was chat number 316, and we were talking about getting excited, how to get excited for your go-to foods. And I asked you to grab a piece of scrap paper and write down an old favorite, and don't show it to anybody, which was ridiculous because you can't see us anyway. And then at the end, I had you flip it over and talk about what your old favorite was and what are some ways that you might lighten it up. So we made, at the beginning of last week's chat, that we made a list of some things how you determine if something is going to be a go-to food. And I heard everything from the points value. So if it has a low points value, probably going to go on your list. If it's available, obviously it's going to needs to be available. You need to be able to purchase it, find it, have access to it. If it's available, might go on your list. If it's in season, I thought that was a great one. So foods that are in season might be on your list. So, you know, while watermelon is definitely on my list right now, it might not be on my list in the winter because those are not going to be, you know, they're not going to be in season melons. Price, a lot of you said that price was a big factor on whether or not it was going to go on your list. Satisfaction, that's a big one for me. I eat with my eyes too. And I like to see a big plate of something or a big bowl of something. Y'all know how much I love my little half bowls, so that it just makes it feel like more, so that I'm satisfied. Obviously, how it tastes. Since getting to go on Weight Watchers, my tastes have changed. You know, something is not. Hello, Marlene from Florida. My tastes have changed in that now I won't eat soggy fries. If it's going to make my go-to list, it's going to have to be hot, fresh, ready, preferably made in the air fryer so that they're lower points. You know, just lots of things like that on what is going to make, you know, how things get onto your go-to list. And then several of you, you know, added some things to your go-to list, some things that you hadn't even thought about before, or things that you thought, you know what, I did enjoy that. I want to circle back around, and I want to put that one back on my list. So last week, your homework though was to be a go-to getter. So I wanted you to figure out what your go-to food was, or maybe it might be an old go-to food, it might be a new one, and figure out how you can make it work on Weight Watchers. And a lot of you all commented, wait, who's having kidney failure? Wait, Sherry, what? Sherry is listening from the hospital. Kidney failure. Who is in kidney failure? What on earth is going on? Okay, so we need to know. So if you don't tell me here, please message me privately, because I need to know what's going on. You can't just throw that in the middle of the chat. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if I miss something, if I miss some kind of update, somebody just private message me. Sherry, what is going on? What in the world? Okay, you're gonna have to private message me, because I need to know what's going on. Okay, y'all keep me posted if I miss anything. Okay, and Sherry, I will circle back around to this later. Goodness, honey, goodness. Okay, phew. Talk about throwing me off track for a second. So a lot of y'all came up with some new ones, came up with some old ones, found some ways to make some of them. You know, more Weight Watchers friendly, you know, things like that. But so for your homework, it was hashtag #GoToGetter. Lynn actually took the time to go through her refrigerator, and she's always really good about keeping vegetables on hand, always. So you can always count on Lynn to do that. But she also throws away a lot of them. No, Sherry, don't be sorry. Do not be sorry at all. But you know how I am. Squirrel. I'm over here, so you've got to tell me later. But she's always good about keeping vegetables in her refrigerator and keeping them prepped and ready to go. But, you know, life doesn't always work out, and sometimes she ends up throwing them away. It happens. So for her to be a go-to getter, she said, you know what? I'm just going to go through all the vegetables that are in my refrigerator, see what's lurking around in there. And her criteria for if she was going to get it and use it this week was, is it still crisp? Is it going to taste good? Is it worth cooking? And she came out with some sheet pans of fantastic food and did not have to throw hardly anything away. So you go get it, girl. Then Caroline's mother used to make Irish stew when she was younger. I mean, Caroline's from Ireland, so of course her mother made Irish stew. But when she was young, she used to make it, and who knows how many? I don't have any idea how many points real traditional Irish stew would have. But she has found a Weight Watchers friendly version actually on the app that's only 6 points. I have not looked for that yet, but I will definitely be looking that one up, because Caroline, thank you for sharing that, honey. I love me some Irish stew. And then this one's long. It's a little bit long, but it is so worth sharing. So Deanna was having hamburgers on the menu. So old school, old way hamburgers on the menu was frozen. The frozen patty was 12 points. The hamburger bun was 4. Mayo was 2. So she had her old style hamburger, 18 points. The way she did them this time, she had salad. So she made it like a hamburger salad. She used 4 ounces of 93.7 ground beef. So I've heard a lot of people talking lately about 93.7, which I've seen, but I've heard several people talking about 95.5. I have not seen 95.5 ground beef. Have you all seen that? So raise your hand if you've seen 95.5. I have personally not seen that. But so she did salad mix, 93.7 ground beef. So it's 93% lean, 7% fat. Which Chuck is 80-20, so if you can just imagine what a difference that makes. So it made a big difference in points. So 4 ounces was 4 points, and then she used Bolthouse dressing. And Deanna, I have not seen you pop on here yet, but you know, I don't know. Orlando Debbie said, what is Laura's lean? I don't know. Does somebody know what that one is? But we need to know, Deanna, which Bolthouse dressing did you use? So if you're here, let us know, because you've had me curious for days. And if you are, if you're not here, if you'll just tell me later when you hit this on replay. So that would be fantastic. What kind of dressing it is? The brand, it's Bolthouse dressing. And then we need to know what brand has the 95.5. Oh wait, Liz says in Texas they have a 96.4. How is that? I'm just curious how that is. I don't think I've had anything any leaner than 93.7. I don't think, really, Carol, you can use 96.4 too. Okay, so y'all chat about that, because I want to know more about that one. I don't think I've ever had any that was that lean. But she saved 11 points. Way to go get your food, girl. Way to go get an old favorite. So extra Bravo stickers for everyone who did their homework. You all are killing it. You're doing a fantastic job. I'm enjoying seeing y'all do your homework in the chat while we're, Liz says it's delicious. It's the only thing she buys. I will have to go find that. Is there a certain brand of that? And Kim, is there a certain brand that y'all are using down there in New Orleans? I'm gonna have to go look for that, and I'll have to check that out. Okay, so this week we are talking about the No More Blame game. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you all a little story. So the names of the people in this story have been changed to protect the innocents. Ha ha ha. But you can probably, Carolee. Okay, we're just gonna pause for a second. You know I'm not ever going to go to Walmart to buy some 96.4. I know Casey got these at Walmart, but you know I'm not ever going to go to Walmart to get that. You know that. I'm just kidding. I go to Walmart maybe once every other month, so I guess I'll just have to stock up and stick it in the freezer. Liz says you can get it at H-E-B. We do not have that here, but if you have an H-E-B, or if you want to go to Walmart, you can get the 96.4 lean beef there. Okay. Oh, and Joycelyn says it's Sprouts. So Joycelyn, and when you go in your Sprouts, look at their concrete floor and let me know how it looks, because my husband's company did those. Okay. Okie dokie. So this little story that I'm going to tell you, again, the names have been changed to protect the innocents, but you can probably guess who at least one of the people is. Okay. So one day, Kendra opened the refrigerator at her work. So she just wandered in, and she opened the refrigerator door, and she said, oh, wait, there's Trish. Hello, Trish, before I get my story going. So one day, Kendra is at work, and she walked in and opened the refrigerator door at work, and she was going to take out her favorite Irish butter. It's like a specific brand. It's Irish butter, only to find that the container was almost empty. And Kendra said, what on earth? Where did all my butter go? Who ate my butter? Well, Kimmy just happened, remember these names are changed. These are not people you know, okay? Kimmy just happened to be close by and, you know, heard Kendra complaining that someone had eaten most of her Irish butter. And so these were Kimmy's responses. Her public response, so the response that everybody could hear, you know, that anyone within earshot could hear, this is her public response. Well, you didn't put your name on it. And I mean, this is work, you know, this is a public refrigerator and we're at work. So it really could have been anybody, you know, you were just asking for somebody to eat it because, you know, it's a public refrigerator and you didn't put your name on it. So Kendra, what were you thinking? Okay. That was her public response. So that's the one that everybody else could hear, you know, she wasn't shy about it, you know, just voiced her opinion to everybody. Okay. Her private response though, once she was away from everybody, was, you idiot. You idiot. Not only did you eat 64 points worth of butter, you didn't even fess up to doing it. You should just go ahead and eat the rest of it. Just eat the rest of the butter. Heck, you should blow off the rest of the week, skip weigh-in, and just start Weight Watchers again on Wednesday, okay? You should just go ahead and do that. That was her private response. So her public response was very, oh wait, Trish just returned from the grandkids participating in the Irvine Games. What? It's like the Olympics. What? That is so cool. Okay, so Kendra's gone to get her butter out of a public refrigerator at work. Kimmy, her public reaction is she's appalled. Kendra didn't put her name on it. You know, could have been anybody. It's a public refrigerator. But privately, Kimmy is having a little argument with herself about how this happened because Kimmy knows she was the one that ate it. Okay, so first, don't be Kimmy. Okay, raise your hand if you've ever been Kimmy. So if you've ever been the one that was like, oh no, I don't know what happened to that. I don't know what happened to the Girl Scout cookies. I don't know what happened to your butter. Not me. And you were blaming somebody else. So raise your hand if you've ever been Kimmy. Hello, Loretta. Okay, and then I want you to raise your other hand if you were Kimmy. Remember, change these names to protect the innocent. But if you were Kimmy, raise your other hand. Okay, don't be Kimmy. Okay, and here's why. So, okay, what really happened? So let's just lay it out on the table here. What really happened? If you've ever seen any episode, even one episode of any crime show, whether it's true or true crime or fake crime, whatever. I didn't realize I was watching fake crime until they invented true crime. But and yes, I do get the difference. Casey explained it to me. But so here's what really happened. Okay, here's what really happened. So if you've ever watched one of those, you know that what happens is if the suspect is an otherwise, and so many of y'all are raising your hands. I'm loving this. So Annette, Sandra, Kim, yeah, so many of y'all are raising one or the other hand or both hands. Both hands here. So these seemingly, I'm not talking about serial killers. I'm not talking about people who are, they're like off the rails, with their crime spree and whatever. I'm talking about just normal human beings, just like us. The first thing they do when they bring them in, they lie about it. Couldn't have been me. I wasn't there. Couldn't have been me. Somebody else did it. Couldn't have been me. Somebody else made me do that. Somebody else. Couldn't have been me. Okay. So first they lie about what happened. I wasn't there. I didn't touch it. I have no knowledge of this, whatever. So they lie first. Then second, they blame it on somebody else. Must have been her. Somebody else got in the refrigerator. Somebody else did such and such. Just blame on somebody else. And then the third thing they do, because remember, these are normal citizens just like us. The third thing they do is wallow in guilt, roll around in a little bit, put it on, take it off, put it on, pick it up, set it down, and then they blame themselves for everything that happened. So if you've ever watched any of these crime shows, they always say, nope, I didn't do it, I wasn't there, must have been somebody else, whatever. And then when they keep on and keep on and keep on, they finally go, okay, here's what really happened. Well, by the time they say, here's what really happened, they are wallowing in it. They're like rolling around in it. So here's what really happened. Kimmy isn't a bad person, okay? Or a weight loss failure. Just so happened that the same week that the very fancy, very delicious Irish butter was in the refrigerator, unattended. Hello, Jonah. The same week, it just so happens that the week that the Irish butter of the gods was in the refrigerator, and it was available, that Kimmy didn't have time to pack her lunch. Kimmy was super busy. Kimmy was stressed. There also happened to be a loaf of sourdough bread that came up missing that nobody seemed to notice. Nobody seemed to notice that the the rest of the loaf of sourdough bread was gone too. Only that the butter was gone, which made it a super easy quick, easy comfort meal. So it wasn't planned. Kimmy didn't premeditate it. It just happened, okay? So that's what really happened. So now what I want you to think about, this is not a blame game, okay? So Kimmy didn't need to blame somebody else for what happened. Kimmy could own up to it, but Kimmy also didn't need to blame herself, okay? Beating yourself up is never, ever, ever, that never works. So if you beat yourself up over it, all you do is then that's when you start that wallowing around, wallowing around in it and thinking, I messed up. I should just eat the rest of it. Why did I do that? Why couldn't I stay out of it? Forget it. I'm just not going to weigh in, or I'm not going to track, or that was 64 points. I'm not putting that on my permanent record. Nobody's going to see, that I ate that much in butter. I'm not going to go to weigh in. I'm going to quit Weight Watchers. I'm just going to quit Weight Watchers, and I'm going to start all over again when there's no more butter on the planet. Okay. That didn't work. So blaming other people and blaming yourself to that extreme just doesn't work. Okay, so what would Kimmy do? What could Kimmy do? So after listening to tonight's chat and realizing that it could have been handled a little bit differently, what should Kimmy do if she's presented with something like this in the future? And if that happened to you, could you stop and ask, what would Kimmy do? You remember those bracelets, the WWJD, what would Jesus do? Oh, don't. Corrine. Okay, so Corrine just said, I can't say that I've ever had or heard of Irish butter before. Don't do it. Do not purchase it and do not eat it. It is literally the best butter that there is. So don't do it. And it's real butter. Yeah. Okay. So, and Mary's already on it. She's already jumped ahead of me. So what could Kimmy do? So instead of WWJD, what would Jesus do? WWK do? What would Kimmy do? Or what should she do? So things like, maybe if Kimmy had said, hey, I don't have lunch with me today. Oh gosh, Carol Lou, I hope you can limit it because that stuff is good. Anyway, so maybe if Kimmy had said, oh my gosh, I forgot to pack my lunch today. I'm starving, but I need something quick. Who knows? Maybe somebody else at work would have realized that she didn't have food and would have offered to go get her some, or could have offered something else. Or maybe they had a frozen meal that they could have shared. If Kimmy had just asked for a little bit of help, maybe Kimmy could have admitted that she ate it, so she didn't feel guilty later, tracked it and moved on. Maybe she could have done that. Or maybe Kimmy could have gone ahead and gone to weigh in, restarted her day, written it down, tracked it, gone ahead and weighed, started right then, and then moved on instead of waiting until the next week or the next month or never to rejoin. Okay, that's exactly right, Marianne. So your homework for this week is #WWID. So instead of Katie, what would Kimmy do? You're going to do, it's WWID. So what would I do? So I want you to think about how Kimmy got herself into this situation. Again, she's not a bad person. She's not a bad person. She's not, she didn't plan this. It wasn't premeditated. She didn't go, oh, I'm going to go eat all of that Irish butter that's in the refrigerator. But, so where have you been in that situation, so that you can be thinking ahead to if it happens again? What would you do? So #WWID. What would I do? Thank you, Lynn, for sharing that. So that's your homework this week. Seriously, we need to know, what would you do? What would you do, or what have you done if you've already had this situation, and if you've already taken some of these steps to not be in that situation. We have so many people that have either never Kerry Gold. Yes, that is the brand. Oh, and see, it's even called Gold. But we have so many people that are either brand new to Weight Watchers, or they've never had an in-person workshop, or they've just lost their in-person workshop, that need your advice. And so you just sharing things like, what would you do? That lets them know we're all in this together. If I'm going to admit that if I'm going to admit that Kimmy ate 64 points of Kerrygold Irish butter because she forgot to take her lunch, notice I didn't say how many points the sourdough bread was. I don't even remember. It's been like 2 years ago. But sharing things like that, you have no idea how much that helps new Weight Watchers, people that aren't even doing Weight Watchers, people that have just lost a meeting, or if they've never had a meeting. These are the kinds of discussions we get to have in those in-person workshops when we have them, in those Zoom workshops with Gwen on Thursday nights, and here, because I can hear you all when you're talking through chat. So it's very important. I don't know, it's just very important to our community when you share things like that. Okay. So that said, do your homework, do your homework, do your homework. It is #WWID. It doesn't have to be hard or complicated. You don't have to air all of your dirty laundry, but it helps. It helps. I promise there is someone who's thinking, wow, you know, did the same thing, wouldn't have written it down, probably would have quit Weight Watchers. So anyway, it helps. And Sandra, thank you so much for reminding me about my water. It is, oh wait, and Loretta says it happens to all of us. Just get back, just get back on track. That's exactly right. Okay, so we're at the halfway mark, and if you are brand new, this is an hour-long chat. In the first hour, we talk about the Weight Watchers topic from the week before, and then in the second half, we do something fun, and tonight, we're going to do something delicious. It's something that I enjoy immensely, and I'm so happy that we're getting ready to be back into this season again. But at this halfway point, everybody stop and get yourself something to drink. So grab some water. I'm going to get mine. This is the only time all week that I know that you all had something to drink. Okay? I don't know that y'all are drinking water. I can't prove that y'all are drinking water any other time. So drink it, drink it, drink it. Okay. And we are teaching Bo, the little granddaughter, we're teaching her to go, you know, she doesn't need to know how to do this, but we are teaching her to go, and it's the cutest thing you've ever seen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my apron on. Not planning on getting super messy, but this is how Casey knows to divide these up. Hold on a second. Corrine has 2 analogies. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That's exactly right. And if you get a flat tire, do you jump out and puncture the other 3? Also exactly right. Yeah, that is so true, Corrine. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, that's exactly right, because you wouldn't just, you wouldn't just throw in the towel on any other life event. I don't know why we do it so much with our weight loss. Okay, so this is the second half of chat number 317, and it was titled The No Blame Game. So we're not blaming anybody else, for when life happens, and we're not blaming ourselves for when life happens either. Okay, I am super happy that we are getting close to summer, even though we're still in semi-sweater weather. Like, it was super hot today. Not super hot. It was like in the 80s today. And then it was chilly all week, in the 80s today, chilly tonight, and super rainy. Like, we had some pretty big, I'm going to call them storms, roll through. But we are getting so close to the summer season. And I've decided to have a summer salad series. I love salads. I love making a big salad, and I love making salads out of all different kinds of things. If you've missed the last couple of weeks, we've had, let's see, what did we make that first week? What kind of salad? It's just left my brain. But last week we made a Watergate salad. I ate all of it just within a few days because it is so delicious. And hello, Barbara from the Crossroads. It's good to see you. But it's going to be getting warmer outside, and things are going to start coming into season. So before I show you what's behind me, what is your favorite, just shout out, what's your favorite food that when summer is headed this way, you think, oh my gosh, such and such is going to be in season. We're going to have, we're going to have fresh this, we're going to have fresh that. I can go to the farmer's market. I can go, lawnmower salad. That's right. Thank you, Carol Lou, because I ate all that like immediately too. Yeah, we made lawnmower salad 2 weeks ago, and I love that name, Carol Lou. I call it hot bacon broccoli slaw, but Carol Lou calls it lawnmower salad, and she's exactly right. Cantaloupe. Lynn, I have to tell you something funny. Last week, I got watermelon for myself and Alyssa. Yeah, and Marion said watermelon. Yeah, my favorite. And Alyssa loves watermelon, and she would eat all that you would put down in front of her. She asked me if I would get her some orange watermelon this week. Some orange watermelon. So yes, I bought her some cantaloupe this week. I just thought that was hilarious. Ooh, peaches. Yeah, Anna says peaches. Katie says cherries, berries, and eventually corn. Any summer food. Christy says strawberries. We had really good strawberries from a little market down the street yesterday. And Carol Lou went to the farmer's market yesterday and can't wait for some more veggies to come out. Okay, so tonight it's going to be all about the watermelon, and Carol Lou says tomatoes. So tonight we're going to make a watermelon salad. But the way and let's see, Corrine says raspberries are good freshly picked. I don't know that I've ever had freshly picked strawberries. I really don't know. I'm trying to think. where would I even get those? And Loretta wants to know, so should we watch the fruit on WW? If you're diabetic, you're going to need to track it. It's going to be points. If you're pre-diabetic, also going to need to track it. It's going to be points. You are more than welcome to have fruit. But if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, Weight Watchers just want you to keep an eye on it because you do have to track, some of those sugars. And it could, oh my goodness, Corrine has raspberry bushes in her yard. I didn't even know that was a thing. How do I get that? How do I get a raspberry bush for, well, I don't have a yard, so for Casey's yard. But they will want you to track fruit if you're diabetic or pre-diabetic, and again, that's just so that you can keep track of that and know where you're at. But all fruit is available, and if you're not diabetic or pre-diabetic, you don't have to track it if you don't want to. If it's a 0-point food for you, you don't have to. I do track my fruit. I'm not diabetic or pre-diabetic, but my mother was diabetic, and her dad was also. And I know, even though I'm getting ready to show you how to make something with fruit and veggies, I know that if I have too much fruit every day, that it does it messes with my weight loss. And Debbie says, do you still have grounds for garden? I do still have a garden spot downtown, but seems like a raspberry bush would take a long time to grow. I'm not sure I've got the investment time for that. But at Casey's house, sure, we can plant a raspberry bush. The girls would think that was awesome. Okay, so watermelon. Watermelon is one of my #1 favorites for summer. Cucumbers, especially if they're homegrown cucumbers, also a #1 favorite. So tonight we're going to make we're going to make a watermelon salad, but we're going to spruce it up just a little bit, and it's not going to take very long to make it. So if you all want to chat about other things, I think we'll probably have an extra 10 minutes or so left on the end of this. And I'll just take a pause here and mention that if you are watching this later, you'll be able to find this recipe on You'll be able to find this recipe on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com here in just a couple of days. And then you can always go back and watch this video here on Facebook, or you can watch it on YouTube. It's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, if you want to see how to put this together. So simple, though. This is literally the easiest thing that you're ever going to make. So, a couple of things you need. One is a good watermelon. So I got a decent watermelon today because it's not quite watermelon season, but I'm ready to jump in, all feet. I did share a video from Instagram today, and I shared it to my Instagram stories. I have not shared it over in the If You Have an Egg group, but I'll try to remember to do that. But it was a lady telling you how to know if you've got a good watermelon. One thing I did not realize, I knew that you always needed to look for that spot, the spot where it's been sitting on the ground. I did not know if the spot was white, it is not ripe yet. If the spot is yellow, then it's ripe. That it's more ripe. She also said you want to look for webbing, and I don't have a whole watermelon here to show you all, so maybe we'll do a video about that, when watermelons start coming in. But the and Lynn, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna sidetrack because Lynn wants to know what the results were of the egg cooking. So that video was actually from the chat 2 weeks ago. And the egg so Lynn's asking, and this is totally off of what we were just talking about, but the chat 2 weeks ago, and then the video that I shared, the reel that I shared yesterday or today, was talking about a TikTok hack where you put eggs into a pan, do a water bath, bake them for so long. I think it was 350 for like 15 or so minutes. And it makes no peel eggs. Perfect. It was perfect. And I ate them for like the next couple of days. Okay, so back on the watermelon thing, this video she shared, you want to look for some webbing. And I wish I had a watermelon here to show you, so we will make another video about that when they start coming in. But you want to see some webbing. I did not know that spot where they've been sitting on the ground, I did not know that if it was white, it means it's not quite ripe, and if it's yellow, that's that kind of, and you know what I'm talking about, the spot where it's been sitting on the ground, then it is more ripe. And then I'd not thought about weighing them, so she was walking around the store picking them up, and of course the heavier excuse me, the heavier they were, the more juicy they were. It made complete and total sense. So first thing you want to start with is some watermelon. So preferably a good watermelon. Then I'm also going to use some cucumbers. So I think, and yeah, Debbie, sometimes I do often buy mine already cut up, and this is already cut up watermelon. So yeah, Debbie said, I just buy mine cut at Publix, and I do also do that, but we have a fruit truck. Oh, and Kim's husband swears by thumping them. I've heard that too. We do have a fruit truck that comes here, and he used to set up at our old showroom, and I'm trying to get him to come to our new showroom called the Peach Tent, and y'all saw the plethora of peaches that we had last year, but they carry Sugar Baby watermelons, and they're not quite the little individual ones. They're just a little bit bigger. Perfect. Those things are perfect. So some good watermelon, and you're going to cube it. Then you're going to take some cucumber, and again, now, so this was a homegrown cucumber. I did not grow this, but I got the cucumber at a market just down the street from our new showroom, and it was so funny when I walked over to the cucumbers, and I was like, oh, I want one of those, because it was so, and oh, Sarah says the hollow sound means that if it sounds hollow, it means that it's ripe. That's what you're saying, Sarah. I think you're right. But these cucumbers, you could tell that they were homegrown, because they were cucumber shape, and then they all kind of twisted up a little bit on the end, and I thought, yeah, so no commercial grower had to make those exactly perfectly straight. They were all a little, we'll just say they had unique characters. They had unique character flaws, so you knew that they were homegrown and then sold to this little market. So then you want to get, preferably a homegrown cucumber or something from the farmer's market that's going to be really fresh and taste good, and you're going to go ahead and cube that too. And I made the watermelon cubes and the cucumber cubes they're about the same size. But then I'm going to make this into a salad. You don't have to do this unless you're making a salad, but I'm going to make this like a little mini meal. Sometimes I do this with just watermelon, but I'm making this into a salad. And then if I was making this to go ahead and eat for my meal, I would, it would be big. It would be in one of those big half bowls. But since I'm making just a little bit for tonight, I'm going to make just a little bit. This is not a recipe that I'm going to recommend prepping ahead. You're not going to want to make this a couple of days ahead, okay? The lawnmower salad actually gets better if you let it sit overnight into the next day. Oh no, and Sarah wants to know if there's an easy way to carve and cube a watermelon without hurting yourself. So Sarah, again, I'm going to sidetrack just a little bit. Y'all remind me to come back to why you're not going to make this ahead. I had somebody show me how to cut a watermelon. If you can get it cut in half and then turn it upside down and slice like this, instead of trying to hack it, like that. So maybe we'll have a watermelon slicing chat one night. And yes, Debbie, I do remember the watermelon salad we had at Disney, and it was delicious. Of course, I love watermelon, so of course it was going to be good. But I don't recommend making this ahead. Again, the lawnmower salad, it's really good if it sits overnight, or even, for a whole, a day or two, because the flavors, kind of meld together. The Watergate salad that we made last week, it set up more, when I let it sit in the refrigerator, again, not for days. But this one, if you are not going to make this salad and serve it like right then, or eat it right then, then I recommend keeping the watermelon separate. Don't toss it in until everything else is done. Or you could do this in a jar, like some of those jarred salads that I've shown y'all how to make. You could take the mason jar. Oh wait, Loretta says Kenny Rogers used to mix watermelon with rice. Interesting. Why? Strange. I'll have to try that. But if you had a mason jar, you could do the wet ingredients in the bottom and then the less wet ingredients on top. So you might want to do like the dressing on the bottom, then the watermelon, then the cucumbers, then the the other ingredients I'm getting ready to show you. Those can go on top. So, and then just keep them in the refrigerator. And then if you needed to prep this ahead, and then when you're ready to eat it, just flip it over, let the dressing and the juiciness from the watermelon run through everything, kind of shake it, and then eat it, okay? So, again, that's why I'm making such a small serving tonight, because I'll have to eat this tonight. It'll be too yucky if I wait until tomorrow. But this is best fresh. It's best if you can make it and then either eat it, serve it. If you're serving it to people, kind of serve it immediately. If you're not, keep the watermelon, to the side, keep it separate, and just toss it in at the end. So since this is a salad, arugula is the best to use with it. I already had some Power Greens mix. So it has, it has arugula, and it has a couple of other, I think it has some baby kale in it and a couple of other, salad greens in it. If I were making this like for my meal, like if I didn't need to consume it tonight, you better believe this is so good. It would be in one of those Tausi half bowls. It would be in one of those giant half bowls. Okay, so then to the salad mix, I'm going to go ahead and add my watermelon. And I'm going to add my cucumbers. And this is already looking pretty. So one of the things that I like best about this salad, hello Susie, one of the things that I like best about this salad is how pretty it is. So can you see just how it's already just so colorful? So I've got green. I have green, champagne vinegar, what? Loretta says, or a splash of wine vinegar in the watermelon or champagne vinegar. I haven't had champagne vinegar. But it's already got some greens on the bottom. Hold on, Carol Lou, slow down. It's got greens on the bottom, some kind of greens like arugula, baby kale, something like that. Then the diced watermelon or cubed watermelon and the cubed cucumbers. And again, preferably cucumbers that were homegrown. I know I've told you this story I know I have told you all this story a million times, but we had an 86 or 87-year-old woman that used to live next door to us when we rented a house in West Knoxville for a couple of years. And we would be sitting inside, exhausted from working all day, whew. And she'd be out there mowing her yard. She mowed her yard almost hold on, Sarah, slow down. She mowed her yard almost every single day. No, she must have been older than that, 93 maybe. I don't know. But she also would plant, so we were only there 2, maybe 3 summers, I don't remember, and she planted tons of cucumber plants and then like 3 or 4 tomato plants. One whole area of her yard was just cucumbers, and she didn't like cucumbers at all. So every day when we lived there, while she had cucumbers coming in, she would bring me like 3 cucumbers a day, and I ate them every single day. Okay, so cucumbers, watermelon, a little bit of salad greens. Then to that, everybody who said feta cheese, yes, of course, we're going to put feta cheese on top of this. So my favorite feta cheese is the fat-free at Trader Joe's, but I've not had an opportunity to go to Trader Joe's. The Athenos is just as good. So this is not fat-free. It's Athenos reduced fat feta cheese, crumbled, traditional, and it's reduced fat. For an 1/8 of a cup, it's 1 point for an 1/8 of a cup, which is 2 tablespoons, or for a 1/4 of a cup, it's only 2 points. That's really not much. So, and it's a great flavor. It's a firm feta. So, you know how sometimes, like the fat-free most of the time is just little bitty crumbles, which is fine, totally fine for what I'm doing. But this one is the Athenos reduced fat feta cheese. It's just a better, I don't know, it's a better consistency, I guess, because it's light instead of being fat-free. And sorry, I'm not measuring this because we are doing this for a chat. We're doing this for a chat, so I'm not going to go through and measure all this. Okay, so we've got a little bit of feta cheese on there. And then we went to do some basil. So notice I have a basil plant in a plastic cup. The reason I have this is I went to go buy basil, and Alyssa and I have one planter still that we need, one container that we needed to decide what we were going to plant in it. And I decided basil, but when I went to the store today, the basil itself, like if I bought one bunch, like just one singular bunch of basil, was going to be like $4.99. And I wasn't going to eat it fast enough to use the whole $4.99, or I got this entire pot of basil, which will be planted, for $2.98. So I saved $2. I saved a shy penny, but I saved $2, and this will be a renewable resource. You know what I mean? Because the feta will continue. I mean, Loretta asked a question about feta. Because the basil plant is going to keep renewing itself. So I bought that. Okay, and then Loretta says, could you substitute another cheese in place of feta? You could. Cheddar cheese, I think, would probably, like real sharp cheddar cheese would probably be good in that. But if you like feta cheese, that's always going to be my first option. So I don't know if you saw what I just did, but if you have a basil plant, let me just show you this real quick because we got buku all the time. We still have like 10 minutes. Basil plants, the center part right here, that's the part you need to get first. So you need to pinch, see that little center part? You need to pinch that out when you're, if you're using the basil, because that's going to keep it from bolting. If the basil bolts, the flavor is just not good. It's just really not good when it bolts. So always try to pinch out. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Smell that. Smell it. You're going to love it. But if it bolts, yeah, not good. Not good at all. And you can get fancy and you could slice this and you could do, all kinds of fancy things to it, but I'm just going to tear it up. So great idea. Go ahead and buy one at the grocery store. You can, basil is something that you can grow in a container. You absolutely do not have to plant it in the ground. Some herbs like basil and some mints, and mint is also really good in this kind of a salad. But some of them, if you don't keep them confined to a container, could actually take over your garden. Okay, so now we've got salad greens. We have, Debbie says, because when it bolts, it's going to go to seed. So keep pinching out those middles. Always pinch out the middles first, because you don't want it to bolt and go to seed, because then it tastes not good. It is not good once it bolts, because then it thinks it's time to make seeds and make more basil plants. So we've got some greens on the bottom, cubed watermelon, cubed cucumbers, feta cheese, and yes, Debbie dropped mint spreads so easily. And then we've got the feta cheese, and then we've got some basil. Last but not least, I have my favorite. I've got some G. Hughes balsamic vinaigrette, and this is 1 carb per, because y'all always ask me what the deets are on these things. 1 carb per serving, gluten-free, no high fructose corn syrup. This is an award winner. I actually am an award winner with G. Hughes. A couple of years ago, I entered one of their contests and won. It wasn't with the balsamic, it was with some of their barbecue sauces. But G. Hughes is always sugar-free. This one has, most of the G. Hughes products are 1 point per tablespoon. I think the one that's like Chick-fil-A sauce is a little bit more, and the one that is like, it's like a shrimp sauce, I think it's a little bit more, but this balsamic is 1 point per tablespoon. And the sodium is 210 milligrams per serving, and a serving size is 2 tablespoons. And Loretta, it is fantastic. It's fantastic. 2 tablespoons is a serving. 2 tablespoons is 2 points. A serving is 2 tablespoons. That has 210 milligrams of sodium. And let's see, you all always ask me what's in it instead of sugar. So let's see. Oh yes, their coleslaw mix is really good too, Debbie. So the ingredients are water, vegetable oil, distilled vinegar, balsamic vinegar, wine vinegar, grape concentrate, caramel color, mustard seed, vinegar, salt, white wine, citric acid, turmeric, tartaric acid, however you say that, xanthan gum, dried onion, sucralose. Okay, so you all always ask me what the sweetener is, and in this one it is sucralose, if anybody needs to know that. So that is the G. Hughes brand balsamic vinegar. I put it in a cute little pitcher. Ooh, and Carol Lou says that Skinny Girl makes a good balsamic. So I put it in a little pitcher just so that I could drizzle it, so it would be easier to drizzle. Okay, and where did my fork go? It's over here. So let's try this baby, because I have managed to ramble on now until we only have 5 minutes left. So I'm going to try and get a little bit of everything in here. So I've got my salad greens, a piece of watermelon, a piece of cucumber. Come on, one salad green. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Because now I've just about talked us out of time. Here's a salad green. There we go. And a piece of feta cheese that is drizzled in G. Hughes balsamic vinegar. And here we go. Oh, lost my cucumber. I mean, I lost my watermelon. So fresh, so yummy. Such a good blend. Again, so fresh and so delicious. And this whole thing, 1 point, 1 point, 2 points. So for this entire thing, and I could have made this super, super, super big. I mean, you can see this is still a good size salad here. So 2 points for this entire thing. Again, I wouldn't make it ahead. I would make it as soon as you're ready to eat it, or as soon as you're ready to serve it, or set the watermelon to the side. Don't toss it in until the end, because it's going to make everything super wet. So it's going to be super refreshing. Cannot wait until it's about 90 degrees outside so that I can make some of this and sit and eat it. It'd be great at the beach. It'd be great sitting in the mountains. It would be fantastic. I mean, it's fantastic anytime. When to get you a good watermelon, get you preferably a homegrown cucumber if you can when you do this, some G. Hughes sugar-free balsamic vinaigrette dressing, some Athenos reduced fat feta cheese. Go ahead and buy yourself your own little basil plant and plant that outside, so you've got a renewable resource. But I hope you enjoy. This recipe will be up here in just a couple of days. It'll be on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You can go ahead and go back and listen to this as soon as we get done tonight. I'll go ahead and post this so that you can go back and listen to it, watch it, whatever you need to do. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget, go ahead and let that next video scroll over. I promise you'll enjoy it. And hit that subscribe button. Hit. For some reason, our numbers are going down instead of going up. So I would love it if you would go ahead and subscribe. Share it with somebody. As always, they're always free. Things are getting more and more expensive, but it's still free to watch us. So y'all have a great week. Thank you for being here. Can't wait to eat my salad. Let me know what you think about it. If you try this, and if you do find another cheese that works well with this also, let us know, because all of us would love to know. But yeah, just leave us a comment below. We'd like to know. So you all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Good night.